My dear friend, hear me with the full attention of your heart. Have you ever felt isolated in this life? Have you ever moved through your days wondering whether there is truly someone who sees you, who values you, who cherishes you not because of what you offer, not because of what you achieve, not because of how you appear, but simply because of who you are? There is a truth you need to let settle deep into your soul today. God is guiding you towards someone who already loves you. Not at some distant point in the future, not at some undefined moment, but even now, God is arranging the course of your life so that you will one day stand before the very person prepared to receive you just as you are. Never believe for 1 second that love is accidental. Do not accept the lie that you must run after people, plead for affection, or force yourself into relationships that leave your spirit empty. When God is the author of your story, every page turns according to divine timing. The connections meant for your life are not random accidents. They are directed by the unseen hand of God. And hear this clearly. If God is the one leading you, then He is not leading you into rejection, betrayal, or heartbreak. God is leading you to someone who already loves you. Someone who, by His design, sees your worth long before the world ever recognizes it. So many of you have exhausted yourselves on people who never truly cared for your soul. You poured out your heart to those who only knew how to take from you. You gave faithfulness to those who answered it with dishonor. But God does not leave His children trapped in empty cycles forever. The love of God is not shown by leaving you tied to those who reject the light within you. No, my friend, God steps in. He removes what is false so He can bring what is real. He closes doors so that you will not keep knocking where no love resides. He shuts down conversations so you will not waste another breath pleading for affection where none exists. And instead, He begins to guide your feet toward a divine appointment, a meeting with someone who already values the very essence of who you are. Think about this. Before you were ever aware of your own longing, before you even whispered your prayers for companionship, God already planted love for you in the heart of another. God already designed the intersection of your lives. This is not imagination. This is the reality of divine preparation. The world will tell you to chase love, to compromise for acceptance, to sell your worth cheap just to be chosen. But God says, stand still and watch how I lead you. For when God leads, He leads with precision. And the one He is leading you to already carries within them a love for you. Not a love that must be earned, not a love that must be begged for, but a love that simply is. And hear me, child of God, this truth is not only about romance, it stretches far beyond. It may be a friend who will hold you up when you are weary. It may be a mentor who will see your potential when others overlooked it. It may be a partner in life who will walk beside you with unwavering faithfulness. Whoever it is, the principle stands. God is leading you to someone who already loves you. This love is not selfish. It is not shallow. It is not temporary. It is deep. It is pure. It is steady, because it has been authored by the hand of the Almighty. But let me warn you, the reason so many miss this blessing is because they refuse to trust the timing of God. You grow impatient. You want to see everything now. You settle for less because waiting feels too long. You compromise because loneliness feels too heavy. And in doing so, you trade the eternal plan of God for a temporary fix. Do not do it. Do not ruin what God has been preparing for you simply because you refuse to wait. The one God has for you is not hidden because they do not exist. They are hidden because the right time has not yet arrived. Just as the sun rises not a moment too early and not a moment too late, so too will God's timing bring forth the person who already carries love for you in their heart. Lift your head and walk with dignity. Stop crying over those who left you. Stop chasing after those who ignored you. Stop mourning over those who despise the gift you are. If they walked away, let them go. If they rejected you, thank God, for He was saving you from false love. If they betrayed you, rejoice, for God was exposing their true heart before you gave them more of yourself. The rejection you faced was not the end of your story. It was the clearing of the path for someone who already loves you to step in. God never removes without replacing. God never allows loss without preparing gain. And the one He has for you, mark my words, they will not need to be convinced to love you. They already do. Oh, how freeing it is when you finally understand that you do not need to beg for what God has already prepared. When you grasp this, your soul rests. You stop striving. You stop lowering yourself. You stop entertaining counterfeits. Instead, you stand in holy confidence, knowing that the same God who formed you, who numbered your days, who clothed you in worth, is the same God leading you step by step toward a soul that honors you. And this love, because it is from God, will not waver when storms come. It will not fade when trials arise. It will not vanish when difficulties appear. For what God authors cannot be erased by the world. Some of you listening right now have prayed for years, asking God, when will it be my turn? When will I see love that is true, love that does not hurt, love that does not abandon? And I am here to tell you, God has heard every word of your prayer. He has seen every tear you cried in secret. He has watched the nights you lay awake in silence, wondering if anyone would ever truly care for you. And God has not been blind to your pain. No, He has been working in the unseen, aligning circumstances, shaping hearts, preparing the right moment when your paths will cross. Do not think that God has forgotten you. He has been orchestrating something greater than you could imagine. The love God is leading you to is not noisy. It is not a performance. It does not need to announce itself with grand displays. It simply is. And you will know it, not because it screams loudly, but because it feels like peace. You will recognize it, not because it forces itself, but because it flows naturally. You will see it, not because you had to demand it, but because it was freely given. The soul God is preparing for you already holds this love. And when you meet them, you will not need to fight to be valued. They will see you and they will know. Do not underestimate the power of God's leading. Sometimes He will shut down opportunities you thought were good because He knows they would destroy you. Sometimes He will delay because He knows you are not ready yet. Sometimes He will test your patience because He wants to refine your faith. But through it all, the destination remains the same, and He is leading you to someone who already loves you. Listen closely, my friend, because this message is not a coincidence for you today. This is not just another moment scrolling through life. This is a divine interruption. God has brought these words before you because He wants to shake the doubt from your heart and awaken your faith once again. God is leading you to someone who already loves you, not tomorrow, not in some vague hope, but in the living reality of His plan unfolding step by step. And if God has declared it, no force in this world can undo it. So many walk through life hungry for love, begging for crumbs of attention, chasing after people who do not value them. But God never intended for His children to live begging. God never intended for you to bow before rejection and call it love. Love in its purest form is a gift that flows from Him. And when God is the one leading, the person He brings into your life is not coming to use you, not coming to harm you, not coming to test your worth. They are coming because the love in their heart was planted there by the hand of God Himself. Do you understand what this means? It means you do not have to twist yourself into someone you are not. You do not have to beg to be chosen. You do not have to sacrifice your dignity to earn what is already written in your destiny. The one God has prepared for you is not blind to your worth. They already see it. They already feel it. They already love you. Not because you performed for it, not because you begged for it, but because God has aligned their heart with yours. Oh, how often we settle for less than this. How often we chase after people who never had the capacity to love us in the first place. And then, when they leave, we cry out to God as though He has failed us. But hear me well. Every person who walked away was part of God's protection. Every closed door was God's mercy. Every heartbreak was God saving you from counterfeit love so that your heart would be free to receive the one who already carries true love for you within their soul. And this love, the one God is guiding you to, is not ordinary. It is not shallow. It is not temporary. It will not fade like the love of this world. It will not collapse under pressure. It will not disappear when the storm comes. Why? Because it is not man-made. It is God-given. And what God gives, no hand can take away. What God ordains, no force can destroy. What God plants, no storm can uproot. You may not see it now, but God is arranging things behind the scenes. That is why certain relationships ended suddenly. That is why certain friendships dried up. That is why certain people lost interest in you without explanation. It was not your fault. It was God's hand removing the wrong ones so you would not be distracted when the right one appeared. God is too wise to let you waste years in the arms of someone who does not truly love you. And God is too faithful to leave you empty. But I must remind you, God's leading requires your trust. You cannot receive this blessing if you are still holding on to bitterness from the past. You cannot see where God is taking you if your eyes are still fixed on what He already removed. Do not cling to dead branches when God has prepared a tree that bears living fruit. Do not cry for what left when what is coming is ordained with eternal purpose. The one God is preparing for you will not need convincing. They already love you. And let me tell you something else. When this person enters your life, you will know. You will not need to force it. You will not need to chase it. You will not need to prove yourself. Their love will feel like rest, not like striving. Their presence will feel like peace, not confusion. For God is not the author of chaos, but of clarity. When He leads you to someone who already loves you, everything about it will carry the fingerprint of His divine peace. But do not mistake God's peace for the absence of trials. Yes, challenges may come. Yes, life may still test you. But the love God has prepared will withstand it. Why? Because real love, love planted by God, is tested but not broken, shaken but not destroyed, pressed but not crushed. It is a love that endures, because it does not come from selfish desire, but from the eternal will of God. Let this truth liberate you. You do not need to chase people anymore. You do not need to compete for attention anymore. You do not need to diminish your worth just to feel wanted. God has already written love into your story. And the one He is leading you to is already carrying it for you. The burden you feel now is only the weight of transition. the shifting of your life as God removes what was false and makes room for what is true. My friend, I want you to open the eyes of your heart and hear this with all the weight of truth. When God is guiding you, He is not guiding you aimlessly. He is not pushing you in circles. He is not leaving you to stumble in confusion. Every step you take, every turn you make, every door that opens and every door that shuts is part of a divine choreography. And within that design, there is a destination. God is leading you to someone who already loves you. This is not mere comfort for your loneliness. It is a truth that carries the authority of God's promise. Think of how God works in creation. He sets the stars in the heavens, not one out of place. He orders the seas, not one drop wasted. He designs every season, every sunrise, every sunset with precision. If God takes such care in the details of creation, how much more care does He take in guiding the relationships that will shape your destiny? You are not forgotten. You are not unseen. God's hand is on your life, and His plan is to lead you into a love that already exists for you. A love that has been waiting for you before you even knew how to ask for it. Now here's a truth that many overlook. Before God brings the right person into your life, He will allow the wrong ones to reveal themselves. He will let counterfeits walk across your path so that you will recognize the difference when the genuine arrives. Every heartbreak was not punishment, it was preparation. Every betrayal was not a curse, it was education. Every rejection was not abandonment, it was God's redirection. The very pain you thought was breaking you was shaping you to discern real love when it finally appears. And the one God is leading you to already carries that love in their soul, waiting for the appointed moment to meet you. But understand this, God does not prepare only the one you are meant to meet. He prepares you too. Many people cry out for love, but are not yet ready to receive it. They want loyalty while living in compromise. They want depth while dwelling in shallowness. They want commitment while entertaining distraction. God's love cannot be planted in unprepared soil. That is why He has been refining you, stripping away your pride, cleansing your heart, teaching you patience, and strengthening your faith. He has been pruning you so that when the one who already loves you appears, you will not sabotage the blessing by carrying the wounds of your past. This is why you cannot cling to bitterness. Bitterness poisons love. Resentment blinds your vision. Anger shuts down your ability to see God's hand at work. Release it. Let go of the grudges against those who failed to love you. Do not carry the shadows of yesterday into the sunrise of tomorrow. God cannot lead you forward while you are chained to the past. Free yourself, because the one He is guiding you to deserves the healed version of you. The version that knows how to love without fear and receive love without suspicion. And mark this in your spirit. The love God is leading you to is not love that drains you, but love that fills you. It is not love that breaks you, but love that builds you. It is not love that hides, but love that is open, honest, steady, and strong. It does not disguise itself. It does not manipulate. It does not disappear when tested. Why? Because it is anchored in God's will, not in human convenience. And when something is anchored in God's will, no storm can uproot it. Too many have confused infatuation with love, attention with affection, flattery with devotion. These counterfeits glitter on the surface, but carry no depth in the soul. But the one God has for you, the one who already loves you, will see through to your spirit. They will honor your worth even when the world ignores it. They will support your growth even when it demands sacrifice. They will stand by you, not for what you can give, but for who you are. And they will love you, not because of their own strength, but because God Himself placed that love in their heart. Do not think it strange, then, when God delays. Do not think it strange when you watch others find companionship while you're still waiting. Your path is different. Your timing is sacred. Your journey is unique. God is not measuring you against others. He is preparing something specifically for you. And while others may settle quickly, you are called to wait for the extraordinary. Their story may be rushed, but yours will be refined. Their connection may be shallow, but yours will be divine. And when God finally unveils it, you will see why the wait was worth every tear, every lonely night, every unanswered question. Here is a vision I want you to hold in your heart one day. You will look back at the people who rejected you and thank God they did. You will look back at the doors that closed and bless God they shut. You will look back at the nights you cried and realize those tears were watering the soil for your harvest. And standing before you will be the one God prepared, the one who already loves you. And in that moment, you will understand nothing was wasted, nothing was delayed, nothing was in vain. It was all the hand of God leading you step by step into the embrace of a love that was destined for you. So rise in faith and walk with confidence. Stop lowering your standards to fit into spaces that God never called you to. Stop begging for love where there is none. Stop forcing connections that God has already broken. If you must beg for attention, it is not love. If you must compromise your dignity, it is not love. If you must silence your truth, it is not love. The one God has prepared already carries love for you freely, without condition. And when you encounter it, you will finally understand the difference between what the world calls love and what God has prepared as love. And let me say this with confidence. God's desire for you is not merely that you be loved, but that you be treasured. His plan is not simply that you be accepted, but that you be honored with joy. His plan is not for you to be barely endured, but to be welcomed completely, deeply, and gladly. And the person He is guiding into your life will never look at you as though you're just one more choice. They will recognize you as part of their God-given future. They will not handle your presence as something temporary. They will hold you as someone precious and irreplaceable, because the love they carry for you will not come from convenience, but from the eternal purpose of God. That is why I tell you, trust Him. Trust Him when it hurts. Trust Him when the waiting stretches long. Trust Him when nothing seems clear. Trust Him when you feel forgotten. Trust Him when your heart grows tired of waiting. Because what He has prepared is greater than what your mind can imagine. And the one He is bringing to you will make the pain of those who failed you lose its power, because their love will show you that every rejection had a purpose. God is not leading you into heartbreak. God is not leading you into betrayal. God is not leading you into emptiness. He is leading you towards someone who already carries love for you in their heart. Someone who may even now be praying for you, longing for you, preparing their heart for you, in the same way God is preparing you for them. And when your paths finally cross, you will not call it luck. You will not call it coincidence. Deep within your soul, you will know it was God. My beloved friend, let this truth sink even deeper into your spirit. When God leads, He leads with intention. He does not bring people into your life without purpose. He does not arrange encounters without meaning. Every encounter, every moment, every crossing of paths, is part of a design greater than your understanding. And the highest proof of His care is this: God is leading you to someone who already loves you. Before you even knew how to cry out for love, before your lips ever formed the prayer, God had already placed love for you in another heart. That love is not forming, it already exists. That love is not conditional, it is eternal because God Himself authored it. Now hear me, because this is where many fail to grasp the wisdom of God. Love, the kind that comes from Him, does not begin when you meet someone. It is planted before you ever arrive. Just as a seed is buried in the ground long before the harvest is seen, so has God buried love for you in the heart of another, waiting for the season when it will bloom before your eyes. This is why you cannot rush. You cannot demand the fruit before the seed has matured. If you pull too early, you ruin the harvest. But if you trust God's timing, you will taste love at its ripest, purest, most perfect form, the love He has been nurturing for you all along. Some of you are frustrated because you are tired of waiting. You look around and see others walking in companionship while you remain in solitude. And you begin to question, has God forgotten me? Has God overlooked me? No, God has not forgotten you. He is protecting you. He is shielding you from counterfeit love so that when true love appears, you will not mistake it. The silence you feel is not abandonment. It is preparation. The delay you experience is not denial. It is perfection. For what God is preparing is far too precious to be rushed. And let me speak to your wounded places. Do not think the rejections of your past were a reflection of your worth. No, they were a revelation of theirs. They revealed that those people did not have the capacity to carry the weight of your heart. And so God, in His mercy, removed them, not because you were unworthy of love, but because you were worthy of better love. The kind of love that already sees you, already honors you, already cherishes you. The kind of love that has been set apart for you by the very hand of God. This is why you must stop looking backward. You cannot drive forward while staring in the rearview mirror. You cannot step into the love God has prepared while holding on to the ashes of what He has burned away. Release it. Let go of the bitterness. Forgive the ones who could not stay. Bless the ones who betrayed you. Because every departure was a doorway to destiny. Every goodbye was making room for a hello from the one God has chosen. And that one, even now, already carries love for you in their heart. Understand this. When God leads you to them, it will not be forced. It will not be confusing. It will not leave you doubting whether it is real. God is not the author of chaos. He is the author of clarity. His love is not noisy. It is steady. His guidance is not frantic. It is peaceful. When you meet the one He has prepared, you will feel the calm assurance that you are exactly where you belong. Their love will not demand you to prove your worth. It will recognize your worth. Their love will not drain you. It will strengthen you. Their love will not fade when challenges come. It will endure because its root is in God. But here is the warning. You must be willing to follow God's leading even when it takes you through seasons of loneliness. Sometimes God will isolate you, not to punish you, but to purify you. He will separate you from distractions so you can hear His voice more clearly. He will strip away counterfeits so you can stop confusing noise for truth. The wilderness is not the end of your story. It is the preparation ground for your promise. And while you walk through it, trust that God is also preparing someone else who already loves you, someone who is walking through their own journey, so that at the right moment, your paths will collide like rivers flowing into one stream. And let me say something that will set many free. The love God is leading you to will not require you to compromise your faith, your values, or your dignity. If you must bend what you believe to keep them, they are not from God. If you must lower your standards to hold on to them, they are not from God. The one God has prepared will honor your faith, respect your values, and celebrate your dignity. They will love you in alignment with God's truth, not in rebellion against it. Because God does not join you to someone who will lead you away from Him. God only leads you to someone who will help anchor you in Him. And oh, the beauty of this divine love. It will not feel like a burden, but like a blessing. It will not exhaust you, but will refresh your soul. It will not weaken you, but will strengthen your faith. Together you will walk in unity, not because you are identical, but because God has aligned your hearts. And when challenges come, and they will, you will not crumble, because the love that holds you together is not dependent on convenience, but on the eternal will of God. My beloved, understand this truth. When people turn against you without reason, when hearts that once smiled at you suddenly turn cold, it is not always a reflection of your character, but a revelation of theirs. Do not waste your energy trying to explain yourself to those who are blinded by envy or hardened by pride. For the hatred that suddenly rises against you is not born in the light of truth, but in the shadows of insecurity. And God, in His infinite wisdom, allows it so you may learn not to depend on the fragile approval of people, but to stand firmly on His eternal foundation. Do not be shaken when their whispers grow louder. Do not tremble when their rejection pierces your soul. For God does not measure you by their words. He measures you by your heart. The same God who raised prophets above the insults of their nations is the same God who will carry you through the storms of slander and betrayal. Those who hate you are not your enemies. They are your teachers, sent by God to strip away your need for human applause, so that you may walk clothed only in the approval of heaven. Remember this: the hatred of people is often the evidence of God's favor upon your life. Why? Because light will always disturb darkness, purity will always expose corruption, and truth will always agitate lies. So when people rise against you without cause, it is a sign that your presence carries weight, that your spirit carries fire, and that your destiny carries greatness. God is sharpening you through their rejection, molding you through their envy, and preparing to exalt you above the reach of their schemes. Do not fight back with bitterness, for bitterness chains the soul. Do not curse them in anger, for anger blinds the heart. Instead, rise above. Trust God to be your defender, your shield, and your judge. For the one who sees in secret knows every plot, every lie, and every act of hatred launched against you. And when God decides to act, no hand can stop His justice. Hear me. Sometimes God allows the hate of others to push you out of places you were never meant to stay. Their rejection becomes the divine wind that propels you into a higher calling. Their betrayal becomes the very key that unlocks the next door of your destiny. So instead of asking, "Why do they hate me?" lift your eyes and ask God, "What are you teaching me through this?" For every attack carries within it a hidden lesson, and every storm conceals a greater blessing. Beloved, stay steadfast. Let your heart remain anchored in the truth that God is your portion, your protector, and your sustainer. The hatred of people may surround you, but the love of God will shield you. Their words may cut, but God's hand will heal. Their rejection may sting, but God's acceptance will lift you higher than you ever imagined. Walk with courage, for the hatred of men cannot undo the favor of God. My beloved, when people rise up against you, When envy poisons their hearts and their words drip with malice, do not be shaken. Do not waste your days trying to understand why hatred suddenly appeared where there was once peace. Understand this truth. The closer you move toward the light of God, the more the darkness within others is exposed. Their hostility is not truly against you. It is against the reflection of God's presence shining through you. Hatred is often the reaction of weak spirits who cannot bear the weight of truth or the glow of divine favor resting on your life. God does not allow hatred to touch you without purpose. He allows it to awaken your strength, sharpen your faith, and test your endurance. Hatred is not a sign of your downfall. It is a signal of your elevation. The storms people create around you are often God's way of pushing you higher. Like the eagle that soars above the storm, you too are being called to rise above the noise of bitterness and resentment. Let their hatred become the wind beneath your wings, carrying you to the heights God has prepared for you. When they speak against you, remember God hears. When they plot against you, remember God sees. When they try to destroy you, remember God protects. Nothing reaches you except by God's will. And if God allows it, then it will only serve as a tool to refine you. Hatred cannot stop a soul chosen by God. Malice cannot a destiny sealed by His decree. You are not defined by their words. You are defined by God's plan. And His plan is always greater than the schemes of man. So walk with dignity. Hold your head high. Do not waste your energy fighting shadows. The truth is this: those who hate you are often revealing the greatness God has placed inside you. If you were insignificant, no one would waste their breath on you. The jealousy of others is a silent confirmation of your value. Their rejection is often God's redirection. Their opposition is often the stage upon which God displays His protection. Therefore, let no hatred disturb your peace. Anchor your soul in God alone. For hatred may roar like thunder, but the calm of God will always outlast the storm. Those who despise you today may watch in awe tomorrow when God exalts you before their very eyes. Be patient, for the hand of God is steady and His timing is perfect. My beloved, when God raises you up, there is nothing on earth or in the heavens that can pull you down. But you must understand this truth: the higher God lifts you, the stronger the winds of opposition will blow. When God places His light upon you, do not be surprised when darkness tries to surround you. People will begin to whisper, criticize, and even hate you. Not because of who you are, but because of the God who works mightily through you. Hatred is often not about you at all. It is about the reflection of God's glory shining through your life. Do not be shaken when those who once praised you suddenly turn against you. Do not lose heart when the ones you help the most become the ones who betray you. This is not a sign of your weakness. It is a sign of your divine calling. The hatred of people is often the confirmation that you are walking in the will of God. If you were doing nothing, if you were standing for nothing, if you carried no truth, no power, and no purpose, then no one would bother opposing you. But because you carry the presence of God, the enemy cannot remain silent. Hatred is a strange thing. It is fueled not always by your faults, but by your favor. Some people see what God has given you, and instead of rejoicing, they burn with envy. They see the peace you have, the strength you walk with, the blessings over your life, and deep within their hearts, they cannot bear it. Yet, my friend, their hatred is powerless against the hand of God. When God has chosen to protect you, no evil plot can succeed. When God has decreed your rise, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. So lift your head high and do not be discouraged. Remember that the greatest men and women chosen by God throughout history faced opposition. They were mocked, rejected, and hated, but God sustained them. God uplifted them, and God vindicated them. Do not waste your energy fighting back with bitterness. Do not lower yourself to the level of those who despise you. Instead, stand firm, rooted in the strength of God, and let Him be your defender. For the hatred of people cannot stop the love of God, and the rejection of man cannot cancel the acceptance of the Almighty. Hold on to this truth. The very people who speak against you today will one day witness how God has blessed you. Those who doubted you will be silenced by the evidence of God's hand on your life. And while they may hate you, they cannot deny that the power of God surrounds you. Their hatred is only a shadow, but you walk in the light of the one who created all things. My beloved, let me remind you again, when people turn against you without reason, when hearts that once smiled at you suddenly burn with bitterness, it is not always a reflection of who you are. It is often a revelation of what God has placed within you. Hatred is sometimes a reaction not to your actions, but to your very existence, because your presence carries the light of God, and light will always disturb the darkness. Do not be shaken by their words. Do not bow beneath the weight of their rejection, for what they see in you is the evidence of God's favor upon your life, and favor always provokes envy. Understand this truth: God allows the hidden intentions of people to be revealed through their sudden hatred. What was concealed in their hearts comes to the surface, so you may see clearly who is truly for you and who only pretended to be. This is not a punishment, it is protection. God removes the mask from the faces of those who wish you harm, not to break you, but to save you from walking with the wrong ones. He separates you so that His purpose can be fulfilled without interference. When their voices rise against you, do not answer with bitterness. Answer with silence and trust, for God Himself is your defender. When God chooses to elevate you, understand that not everyone will rejoice. Some will smile in your face, but tremble in their hearts, because the same God who lifts you reminds them of their own emptiness. But do not let their hatred pull you down. Keep your eyes fixed on God, for His hand is not moved by the opinions of men. Their rejection cannot cancel God's plan. Their whispers cannot undo His decree. He who called you will sustain you, and He who sustains you will vindicate you. Let me tell you, my brothers and sisters, hatred can be a signal. It is a signpost that you are moving in the direction God has set for you. If no one ever opposed you, if no one ever spoke against you, it may be a sign that you are standing still. But when God propels you forward, when He shifts you into new territory, resistance will come. And that resistance is not there to stop you, it is there to prove you. It is in the face of opposition that your faith must stand tall, declaring, God is enough for me. God is my protector. God is my witness. Do not allow their hatred to turn into hatred within you. That is the trap of the enemy. The moment you allow bitterness to enter your heart, you lose sight of God's peace. Let their hatred be fuel for your closeness to God. Let their rejection push you deeper into prayer. Let their betrayal teach you to rely not on human approval, but on the approval of the Almighty. For God's love is greater than every insult. His presence is richer than every friendship you lost. His promise is stronger than every lie spoken against you. My beloved, let me tell you this truth with the fire of conviction. When people rise against you without cause, when whispers turn into storms of slander, when hands that once applauded you suddenly point an accusation, do not be shaken. For these storms are not always born from your failures, but from the greatness that God has placed inside you. Darkness despises light. Mediocrity despises excellence. Weakness despises strength. And when the hand of God is upon you, when His favor rests on your life, the envy of others will rise like waves crashing against a rock. But the rock does not move. It stands because its foundation is God Himself. Do not seek to defend yourself endlessly before men, for your defender is the Lord. Do not waste your breath trying to explain your calling to those who are blind to it. For sight is a gift that only God can give. Instead, keep your eyes fixed on the one who lifts you above the hatred of men. For the truth is, their hatred is often the very confirmation of your anointing. If you were insignificant, no one would care. But because God has marked you for a higher purpose, the adversary stirs hearts against you to distract and discourage you. But listen to me. When God has decreed your rise, no slander can block it. When God has opened your door, no enemy can close it. When God has chosen to honor you, no crowd of haters can stop His hand. Their hatred will not break you. It will make you. Their jealousy will not kill you. It will push you closer to your destiny. Just as fire refines gold, so too does opposition refine the soul to trust in God. So take this as your strength. Every attack against you is secretly an announcement that God is doing something great in your life. The louder the hatred, the greater the destiny. The fiercer the resistance, the closer the breakthrough. God is not silent. He is preparing you to stand where others cannot stand, to shine where others cannot shine, to endure what others cannot endure. Do not fear their words. Do not bend under their pressure. Do not surrender to their schemes. Instead, stand tall, walk boldly, and keep moving in faith. For the shield of God is upon you. He will make your enemies stumble in their own traps. He will cause their weapons to return to their own hands. He will turn their hatred into your elevation. And when it is all said and done, the same mouths that cursed you will have no choice but to witness your blessing. Lift up your head, chosen one. The hatred coming against you is not meant to destroy you. It is revealing you. God is showing you that the light He placed within you cannot be concealed, and no darkness has the power to overcome what He has already appointed. Trust Him, because His purpose is greater than their schemes, and His strength is far stronger than their venom. Beloved, hold tightly to this truth. When people begin to hate you without warning, it is not always because of who you are, but because of what God has placed inside you. Their rejection is not the end of your story. It is confirmation that you are chosen, separated, and led by the hand of God. Do not run after those who decide to leave. If they were able to walk away, they were never meant to remain. Do not pour your tears out over those whose hearts have turned cold. God Himself has allowed them to move out of the way so that your destiny can unfold. Take courage and remember this. Every arrow of hatred will become part of your testimony. Every act of betrayal will become a step that lifts you higher. Every door that closes will clear the way for a greater door that only God can open. What people intend for harm, God turns for good. So keep walking with boldness. Keep living without fear, and keep your trust fixed on God alone. Let them hate. Let them whisper. Let them mock. Their voices will pass away, but the voice of God will remain forever. And when His hand rests upon your life, no force in heaven or on earth can stop the blessing, the protection, and the purpose He has spoken over you. That is why you must remain unshaken. You must not fall apart. You must not bow beneath the pressure of human opinion. Because in the end, it is not the judgment of people that determines your life. It is the power, the mercy, and the favor of Almighty God. Stand firm, stand strong, and keep moving forward with the confidence that God is with you. And that is all you truly need. My beloved friend, hear this clearly today. The very thing you have been praying about, the very person your heart has been yearning for, the one shaped by the hand of God to walk beside you through this life, is drawing near with urgency. Yes, your soulmate is preparing to make a bold move to be with you. Because when God ordains something, no power in heaven or on earth can keep it from unfolding. There is movement in the unseen realm, a divine stirring set in motion by God Himself. He is aligning hearts, rearranging circumstances, and clearing the way for a union He has appointed. So many of you listening right now have wept in secret. You have cried out to God asking, "Why has the waiting been so long? Why does my heart carry this ache? Why has loneliness followed me when I have tried to walk faithfully before you?" Yet even in the deepest part of your spirit, there has been a whisper, a stirring, an unmovable knowing that you were not made to walk this path alone. God planted in your heart the desire for companionship, for covenant, for the one person formed before time to stand as the answer to that longing in your soul. Never believe for a second that God has forgotten you. Never believe your prayers have gone unheard. God is never late, and He is never careless. His timing does not follow ours, and His ways are far beyond our own. While you have been waiting, God has been preparing. While you have been praying, God has been refining. While you have been crying, God has been writing a story so beautiful, so surprising, so far beyond what you imagined, that when it finally unfolds, you will fall before Him in awe of His faithfulness. The person God has chosen for you is not just another passing face. They are not false. They are not a distraction. They are not a temporary desire. They are the one appointed by God for your life. And when God stirs the heart of a soulmate, He does not do it gently or halfway. He does not move them through hesitation. He moves them with urgency. He sets a fire within them that cannot be ignored, a longing that will not settle until they take the bold step of coming into alignment with His will for their life and for yours. Oh, my dear friend, do you know what that means? It means you do not need to chase. You do not need to beg. You do not need to scheme. You do not need to manipulate. God Himself is the author of this connection, and He is the one who will cause the hearts to align. Your soulmate is not going to remain silent forever. They are not going to stay complacent. They are not going to ignore the tugging of God's Spirit. They will move. And when they will move with boldness, with certainty, with conviction, and with determination to be with you. And perhaps you are wondering, but why now? Why after so long? Because God is a God of appointed times. He is a God of seasons. And just as the farmer waits for the rain, just as the seed waits for its time to break through the soil, just as the sun rises at the appointed hour, so too your union has an appointed moment. That moment is drawing near. You can feel it in the atmosphere. You can sense it in your spirit. You can perceive the shift even if you cannot yet see it with your eyes. Do not mistake delays for denial. Do not mistake silence for absence. God has been working in the hidden places. Your soulmate has been tested. They have walked through valleys. They have faced battles. They have been refined in the fire. They have been shaped in the wilderness. And now, God is placing a holy urgency upon them. They are realizing that life without you is incomplete, that their destiny is tied to yours, that their future cannot unfold fully without aligning with you. This urgency is not born of human desire alone. It is born of divine orchestration. It is the hand of God pressing upon their heart, reminding them, convicting them, urging them that the time has come. They will not sleep peacefully until they take action. They will not rest contentedly until they pursue what God has ordained. They will move mountains. They will break barriers. They will cross distances. They will defy opinions. They will risk everything to stand by your side. Because when God decrees a union, no force of darkness, no voice of doubt, no chain of circumstance can hold it back. Hear me carefully. This is not about a fairy tale. This is not about human fantasy. This is about divine purpose. When your soulmate comes, they are not coming to simply hold your hand. They are coming to walk with you in God's calling. They are coming to stand beside you in your assignment. They are coming to pray with you, to build with you, to dream with you, to labor with you, to worship with you. They are coming because your souls are intertwined in destiny, and together you will fulfill what alone you could not. You must prepare your heart. You must be ready for the drastic action that is coming, because when they come, it may shake your world. It may require you to leave behind old doubts, old wounds, old fears. It may require you to step into courage, to embrace vulnerability, to accept the blessing God is placing before you. Do not sabotage what God is sending with suspicion or hesitation. When the door opens, walk through it with faith. When the opportunity arises, seize it with boldness. When the person stands before you, recognize them for who they are. Not just a companion, but the answer to your prayer, the fulfillment of God's promise, the embodiment of His faithfulness. I want you to understand something profound. Your soulmate is not simply choosing you. God has already chosen them for you. The drastic action they are about to take is not just their own decision. It is obedience to God's prompting. And when someone obeys God, blessings follow, protection follows, favor follows. A divine covering surrounds that union. And what God blesses, no man can curse. Perhaps you feel unworthy. Perhaps you think, why would anyone take drastic action for me? I am flawed. I am broken. I am scarred. But let me remind you, God does not see you as the world sees you. He sees you as His beloved. He sees you as valuable. He sees you as chosen. And the one He has prepared for you will see you through the same lens. They will not see you as a burden. They will see you as a blessing. They will not see your scars as disqualifications. They will see them as testimonies. They will not see your brokenness as a reason to walk away. They will see it as proof of God's sustaining power in your life. The drastic action your soulmate is about to take will astonish you. It will not be half-hearted. It will not be casual. It will be bold. It will be undeniable. It will carry the weight of conviction and the seal of God's authority. You will know without a shadow of a doubt that this is not by chance. This is God's hand. This is God's timing. This is God's will. And so I tell you today, be expectant. Live in anticipation. Carry yourself with dignity. Keep your faith strong. Do not let discouragement poison your hope. Do not let past betrayals blind you to present blessings. Do not let fear hold you back from receiving love. What is coming is bigger than your fears, stronger than your doubts, greater than your imagination. My friend, your soulmate is about to move. They are about to step out of hesitation and into destiny. They are about to silence the voices of doubt and follow the whisper of God. They are about to rearrange their life, their priorities, their path to align with the will of God for both of you. And when they do, you will witness firsthand the power of God to orchestrate lives, to align hearts, to weave destinies, and to fulfill promises. This is your appointed time. This is your answered prayer. This is your testimony in the making. God is faithful, and He is about to prove it in the most breathtaking way. My friend, when God sets something in motion, no power on earth can stop it. The wind may blow against it. The enemy may try to resist it. Voices may rise to oppose it. But what God has decreed will stand firm. The soul that belongs with you is not wandering aimlessly. They are being guided step by step by the invisible hand of God. And in this very season, that guiding hand is pressing upon them with force, stirring their heart with urgency, and leading them to take bold steps toward you. There is a holy restlessness that God places upon a person when the appointed time comes. They will not be able to find peace in the things that once distracted them. They will not be able to settle for shallow connections or temporary comforts. God will strip away the illusions. He will remove the counterfeits. He will dry up every well that is not meant for them until they are thirsty enough to seek the living stream that flows only in the direction of His divine will. That stream is leading them to you. Do you not see how God works? He closes one door so you will not be trapped in the wrong place. He allows disappointment so you will not waste your years in counterfeit promises. He permits heartbreak so that your heart can be purified and prepared for the one who will cherish it with reverence. God is not punishing you in the waiting. He is preserving you. He is guarding your soul until the one He has chosen is ready to step forward. And hear me well, drastic action is never comfortable. It is not safe. It is not predictable. It is a leap into the unknown. But when God compels a soul, they cannot resist. Your soulmate is about to reach a point where hesitation is no longer an option. They will break patterns that held them captive. They will silence the fears that once controlled them. They will rise with courage that only God could place in their spirit. They will look at the obstacles before them and say, no matter what stands in my way, I must move, I must act, I must go where God is leading me. That action will surprise even them. For years, perhaps, they thought they could manage without you. They believed they could ignore the pull, suppress the desire, bury the conviction. But God has a way of bringing things to the surface. He has a way of igniting fires that cannot be quenched. He has a way of pressing upon the human spirit until obedience becomes the only option. That is what is happening now. The one He has chosen for you is on the brink of surrender to that holy prompting. And once they do, you will see them step forward with a determination that nothing can shake. Some of you are wondering if this is too good to be true. You have been deceived before. You have been disappointed before. You have opened your heart only to see it crushed under the weight of broken promises. But God does not repeat the wounds of the past when He brings forth His true gift. The past was preparation. The pain was training. The tears watered the soil of your spirit, so that now, when the right one arrives, You will recognize them not by charm, not by words, not by fleeting emotions, but by the undeniable witness of God's presence surrounding the union. Let me tell you something important. When this drastic action comes, it will not be hidden in shadows. It will not be whispered in secrecy. It will not be half-hearted. It will be clear. It will be decisive. It will be bold. You will not have to chase it, question it, or force it. It will come to you with the unmistakable mark of God's hand. That is how you will know it is real. Do not be surprised if this action defies logic. Do not be surprised if it goes against human reasoning. God does not always work according to human logic. He does not bow to the opinions of others. When He commands a heart to move, that heart will obey regardless of cost. Your soulmate may leave behind comfort zones. They may walk away from familiar places. They may abandon old plans, but they will do it gladly because the conviction of God's will is stronger than the pull of worldly security. And I say to you, prepare yourself. Prepare your heart to receive. Prepare your spirit to embrace. Prepare your mind to adjust. Because what God is bringing will not fit into the small box of your expectations. It will stretch you. It will call you higher. It will demand that you grow, that you heal, that you step into greater faith. God does not bring ordinary unions to His chosen ones. He brings unions that carry weight, purpose, and destiny. And when such a union arrives, it will elevate both souls into realms of blessing they could never reach alone. There will be voices that question. There will be people who doubt. There will be whispers that say, "This cannot be from God." But ignore them. They do not know what God has spoken in the quiet chambers of your spirit. They have not heard the whispers in the night when you poured out your heart to Him. They have not seen the visions that stirred in your dreams. They have not felt the confirmation that floods your soul when you pray. They cannot see what God has destined. For His ways are hidden from the proud, but revealed to the faithful. Your soulmate is about to do what others thought they never would. They are about to take risks others will not understand. They are about to walk paths others would fear. But they will do it because God has written your name upon their heart. No one else will satisfy. No one else will complete. No one else will bring that deep God-given peace. And until they move toward you, they will not find rest. I must remind you, do not mistake their drastic action as their strength alone. It is not by human will that this will happen. It is by God's power. If God had not stirred them, they would remain in place. If God had not placed fire in their soul, they would remain passive. But because God has marked this time, because He has declared this season, they cannot stay where they are. They must come. They must act. They must align with destiny. There is a truth you must hold tightly to in this moment. When God chooses to align two souls, He does it with precision, with purpose, and with power. This is not a random collision. It is not mere chance. It is the unfolding of a divine script written before you even understood the longing of your heart. And in this season, that script is coming alive. The one who belongs beside you is awakening to the call of God, and the urgency within them is no longer something they can ignore. Understand this: drastic action is the language of divine urgency. When God presses upon a heart, He does not nudge it timidly. He ignites it with fire. That fire burns away excuses. It consumes fear. It overcomes hesitation. Your soulmate is about to step into that fired, driven obedience. They are about to make a move that will change both of your lives forever. But why drastic? Why so bold, so unshakable, so undeniable? Because anything less would not break through the barriers that have stood in the way. Anything less would not silence the voices of doubt, the weight of fear, the resistance of circumstance. Only drastic action can override the obstacles. And when God commands such action, it carries unstoppable force. Think of it this way. When the river is dammed up, it takes a mighty breaking for the waters to flow again. When the night is at its darkest, it takes the explosion of dawn to shatter the shadows. When chains have bound for too long, it takes the violent breaking of metal for freedom to come. Your soulmate's drastic action will be like that. It will break barriers, shatter delays, silence doubts, and release a flood of God's blessing. And you, child of God, must not only expect it, but prepare for it. You cannot meet this divine moment with fear. You cannot meet it with suspicion. You cannot let the wounds of yesterday blind you to the miracle of today. The drastic action that is coming is not like what you have known before. This is not manipulation, not counterfeit affection, not empty promises. This is God's hand moving upon the heart of another to fulfill His promise to you. God has a way of stirring the unseen. He works in the silence. He moves in the shadows. He orchestrates in the background what you cannot yet see in the foreground. While you were weeping, He was aligning. While you were waiting, He was preparing. While you were praying, He was shaping. And now, the fruit of that hidden work is about to emerge. Do not underestimate the power of divine timing. If this had come earlier, you might not have been ready. If it had come before, your soulmate may not have been prepared. But now, after the shaping, after the testing, after the refining fire, the time has come. And when God says the time has come, no delay can remain, no obstacle can stand, no enemy can hinder. Let me speak to the waiting heart right now. You have been faithful in the season of loneliness. You have walked through the valley of silence. You have endured the whispers of doubt. You have carried the weight of questions that seemed unanswered. But know this, every tear watered the soil. Every prayer built the foundation. Every lonely night carved the capacity within you to receive the blessing that is now at your door. Your soulmate is about to awaken to this same realization. They too have carried burdens. They too have wrestled with doubts. They too have wandered in deserts that left them thirsty for something real, something eternal, something ordained by God. And now God is pressing upon them with a holy urgency, saying, move, act, do not delay, step into destiny. You see, my friend, when God appoints a connection, He does not prepare only one heart, He prepares both. He is at work on both sides. He forms you and He forms them. He cleanses you and He cleanses them. He clears away your distractions and He clears away theirs. And when the time has fully come, He brings the two together with a power no human mind can fully explain. That power is about to move in your life. But this is what matters. You must walk by faith, not by fear. You must keep your spirit open, not shut it down. You must trust the hand of God and not depend on your own understanding. Because when this sudden action comes, it may not look familiar. It may feel intense. It may appear to happen all at once. But what feels sudden to you has never been sudden to God. It is the result of long preparation, the revealing of a plan written long before your eyes could recognize it. Think about how God moves. He lifted Joseph from prison to palace in a single day. He opened the sea for a nation in a single night. He sent rain upon dry land in a single moment. God moves suddenly, powerfully, and decisively when the appointed time arrives. In the same way, your soulmate's action will come suddenly, powerfully, and decisively. And you will know it is God, because it will not come covered in confusion, but in clarity. It will not come through hesitation, but through certainty. It will not come through disorder, but through peace. The peace of God will surround it and confirm within your spirit that this is His work and not the work of man. And I must speak this truth plainly. Some of you have been tempted to settle. The waiting has made you tired. The silence has made you uneasy. You have said in your heart, maybe I should just accept whoever comes. Maybe I should just make something work. But hear me clearly, do not settle. Do not compromise. Do not accept what is less than what God has promised. Because if you settle for less, you will miss the drastic, destiny-filled action of the one God has ordained. Your soulmate is not ordinary, and neither is the union God has prepared. This union carries weight. It carries purpose. It carries destiny. It is not just about companionship. It is about assignment. It is not just about affection. It is about alignment. It is not just about love. It is about legacy. Together you will build, you will rise, you will conquer. You will glorify God in ways that neither of you could have done alone. My beloved friend, let me remind you of this unshakable truth. God is not a God of confusion. He is a God of clarity, of order, of divine alignment. When He sets two souls on a collision course toward destiny, He does not allow the connection to remain hidden forever. There comes a time when the veil is lifted, when the silence breaks, when the appointed season dawns, and the one whom God has chosen for you can no longer remain still. That time is now. That season is here. The one crafted for you is awakening, and their heart burns with a fire they cannot put out. That fire will drive them into drastic action, not because they are reckless, but because they are obedient to the voice of God. Think of how God moves throughout history. When He parts a sea, it is not a trickle. It is a mighty wall of water crashing open to reveal dry ground. When He brings rain to a thirsty land, it is not a drizzle. It is an outpouring that floods the fields with abundance. When He delivers His people, it is not subtle. It is mighty, unmistakable, undeniable. This is how your soulmate's action will be. It will not be hidden. It will not be timid. It will be bold. It will carry the mark of God's authority upon it. Some of you have been asking, how will I know it is truly from God? How will I know this drastic action is the answer to my prayer and not just another disappointment? You will know because it will bear the fruit of God's Spirit. It will not come clothed in confusion. It will not be birthed out of desperation. It will not lead you into chaos. It will come with peace, with clarity, with strength. It will align with the prayers you have whispered in the night, the visions you have carried in your heart, and the longings you could never quite explain to others. Your soulmate's drastic action will also demand courage from you, for when they arrive, they will challenge the walls you have built around your heart. They will ask you to trust again, to love again, to believe again. And that, my dear friend, is why God has allowed the long season of preparation. Every tear, every heartbreak, every season of solitude was not wasted. It was God strengthening you, stretching you, enlarging your capacity to receive a love that is pure, that is purposeful, that is divine. Without the refining, you might have rejected what is coming. But now, after all you have endured, you will recognize it for what it truly is, a gift from God. Do not underestimate how drastic this action may look to others. People may question it. They may shake their heads. They may say it is too sudden, too bold, too risky. But understand this: when God speaks to a heart, He speaks louder than the opinions of man. Your soulmate will no longer be controlled by what others think. They will not be hindered by the fear of judgment. They will not be held back by the chains of comfort. They will rise up, propelled by the voice of God, and they will move toward you with a conviction that silences every critic. God often works in ways that shock human reasoning. He does not follow the patterns of the world. He does not wait for human approval. He does not bend to cultural expectations. When He decides to join two lives together, He will move mountains, reroute rivers, and bend time itself to make it happen. That is why you must keep your faith anchored in Him and not in what you see around you. What looks impossible to man is possible with God. What looks far away in the natural is close in the spiritual. What looks delayed in the eyes of people is right on time in the calendar of heaven. I want you to see this with your spirit's eye. Somewhere right now, your soulmate is restless. They cannot explain it fully. They cannot shake it off. They cannot silence the voice in their heart. God is stirring them. He is reminding them of the emptiness they feel when they are apart from you. He is impressing upon them that their destiny is tied to yours, that their peace is linked to obedience, that their future is incomplete without the step they are about to take. And so they are preparing to move fast, boldly, drastically, because they know deep within that to delay is to disobey God Himself. And you, my friend, must be ready to recognize the hand of God when it manifests. This is not a season to live distracted. This is not a time to dwell on what was lost. This is not a moment to bury yourself in fear. This is the time to lift your eyes, to raise your faith, to stand with expectation. When God moves, He looks for those who are awake, alert, and prepared. Be one of them. Do not sleep spiritually while your answer is knocking at the door. Think of the farmer who plants in faith. He does not see the harvest immediately. He waits through long nights, through seasons of rain, through moments of doubt. Yet, at the appointed time, the field bursts forth with life, and all the waiting is redeemed in one powerful moment of reaping. That is how this drastic action will feel. It will redeem the waiting. It will make sense of the pain. It will turn your mourning into joy, your loneliness into companionship, your prayers into testimony. Your soulmate is not coming to you half-hearted. They are not approaching you casually. They are not playing with destiny. They are coming with full surrender to the will of God. That is why their action will seem drastic, because it will cost them something. It may cost them comfort. It may cost them the approval of others. It may cost them their old plans, but they will gladly pay the price because they know that obedience to God is more valuable than the applause of man. And you must also be willing to pay a price. You may have to let go of fear. You may have to release old disappointments. You may have to forgive those who hurt you so that your heart is free to embrace what is new. You may have to step into an unknown that feels terrifying at first. But know this: when God leads you, He does not lead you into destruction. He leads you into blessing. When He joins you to your soulmate, He does not do it to harm you. He does it to fulfill you. My beloved, hear me with the ears of your heart. When gossip arises against you, it is not always an attack on your weakness, but often a testimony of your strength in God. Those who whisper behind your back cannot reach the heights where God is taking you. Their voices are bound to the dust, but your destiny is bound to the heavens. Do not allow their small talk to derail your great purpose. For the one who holds your breath, who measures the seas in his hand, and who commands the sun to rise, is the same one who will silence the noise of false tongues. Understand this truth. People gossip because they cannot comprehend the favor of God resting upon you. They speak what their hearts cannot carry because God has placed upon you a light too heavy for their eyes. The whispers in dark corners are nothing compared to the proclamation of God's will over your life. If the Almighty says you are chosen, who can unchoose you? If He says you are lifted, who can drag you down? Their words are like smoke, visible for a moment, then gone. But the Word of God over your life is like a mountain, unshakable, immovable, eternal. When gossip surrounds you, remember God is the revealer of truth. He brings to light what is hidden in shadows. He exposes hearts and intentions that pretend to be pure, but are poisoned with envy. Sometimes God allows the gossip to spread so that you may see who is for you and who is against you. Do not be distressed. This is divine separation. This is purification of your circle. For God does not want rotten fruit to contaminate your harvest. He removes what is false so that what is true may remain. Lift your head high when they speak falsely of you. You do not need to defend yourself, for your defender is God. Let Him fight your battles. Let Him answer your critics. Let Him scatter those who rise against you. The same God who divided the seas can divide you from the reach of your enemies. The same God who brought down the arrogant Pharaoh can humble the proud hearts that slander your name. And the same God who lifts the oppressed can lift you above the noise of every lie. So I say to you, walk boldly, walk faithfully, and walk silently when needed. Do not waste your strength wrestling with gossipers, for their words are weightless. Instead, anchor your soul in God, the source of all strength. Let your heart rest in His promise, and let your spirit rise on the wings of His protection. Gossip may follow you, but God goes before you. Gossip may try to stain your name, but God has already written it in His book of remembrance. And what God remembers, no tongue can erase. Let me tell you this with all the fire of truth burning in my spirit. When you anchor your life in God, when you refuse to bend to the winds of gossip, slander, or deceit, you rise to a level where no voice of man can touch you. People may conspire, they may whisper, they may spread lies in hidden corners, but the moment God decides to lift you, no force on earth and no scheme of darkness can pull you down. The blessing of God is not dependent on human approval, and the honor that God places upon you cannot be canceled by the tongues of those who envy you. Every trial you face, every wound inflicted by the betrayal of others is shaping you into someone unshakable, someone refined in the furnace of God's wisdom. Stop worrying about who dislikes you. Stop wasting your nights thinking about those who plot against you. Instead, ask yourself this: what is God teaching me in this season? Because often God allows you to see the darkness in others, not to make you bitter, but to make you wiser, stronger, and more discerning. Remember this: when people try to bury your name, God plants it deeper into the soil so it can grow into a tree that bears fruit. When they try to isolate you, God is creating space for your elevation. When they try to shame you, God covers you with dignity and honor that no man can strip away. Do not let their gossip stain your heart. Do not let their rejection poison your soul. Rise above, because you were never meant to be held down by human opinion. You were created to walk in the freedom of God's purpose. And let me declare this truth into your spirit: those who speak against you are not greater than the one who defends you. God hears every insult, every false word, every hidden scheme. And God is not silent. At the appointed time, the very tongues that spoke against you will be silenced. And the same people who tried to dim your light will have no choice but to witness it shine brighter than ever. That is the justice of God. That is the protection of God. That is the victory that comes from placing your trust fully in Him. So do not let gossip break you. Let it remind you that you are chosen. Do not let slander shake you. Let it remind you that God's plan for you is bigger than their opinion. Do not let betrayal destroy you. Let it remind you that your trust was never meant to rest in people, but in God alone. For if God is for you, no one, absolutely no one, can stand against you. My beloved, when people rise against you with gossip, with falsehoods, with whispered words meant to break your spirit, remember this truth: their words cannot define you, because God has already written your worth in the eternal scroll of His decree. The slander of people fades like smoke in the wind, but the word of God stands forever. Do not waste your tears on those who speak behind your back, for if their courage was strong enough, they would stand before you. Instead, their whispers reveal the weakness of their hearts and the strength of your calling. When you hear that others conspire in secret, let your heart not be troubled. It is not you they resist. It is the hand of God upon you that unsettles them. Their gossip is nothing but proof that you are walking a path that threatens their comfort and exposes their hidden darkness. Many times the opposition you face is not about your faults, but about the light of God within you that blinds those who refuse to see truth. God Himself says that He defends the believer, that He is the guardian of the righteous. So why should you fear the noise of people when the voice of God is on your side? Instead of responding to their words with anger, rise above with silence rooted in faith. Silence is not weakness when it is for God. It is strength wrapped in dignity. Your silence will echo louder than their gossip, because God will be your defender. Every word they speak against you unjustly is recorded, and every tear you shed is seen. Do not think that God is unaware. He is the all-knowing, the all-seeing, and He will repay every injustice in its time. My dear one, let this sink deep into your soul. Gossip is the tool of the insecure. When people cannot attack your actions, they attack your reputation. But remember, your reputation is in the hands of people. Your character is in the sight of God, and it is your character that God rewards. Let them talk, let them scheme, let them mock, for in the end their words will collapse like dust. But God will raise you like a tower upon a firm foundation. Do not chase after their approval, for you were never created to please people. You were created to please God. The moment you stop trying to silence every tongue and instead trust the silence of God's wisdom, you will find peace that no gossip can destroy. Let them spread their lies, for God spreads His truth. Let them speak against you, for God speaks for you. And when God speaks, no voice on earth can drown Him out. Beloved, do not forget that even betrayal, slander, and gossip can be used by God to elevate you. Sometimes He allows people to speak against you so He can expose who truly belongs in your circle. Sometimes He allows false words to circulate so that you are pushed closer to Him, finding your strength not in people but in His presence. Gossip may break your heart for a season, but it strengthens your soul for eternity. So walk forward boldly, knowing this: every time they whisper, God hears. Every time they mock, God records. And every time they plot, God responds. The one who guards you neither sleeps nor forgets. Their gossip may travel, but it will not prevail. For God Himself is your shield and your honor. My beloved, there is a moment in every soul's journey when the whispers of doubt try to drown out the truth of God's presence. There will be days when fear rises like a giant standing before you, mocking your faith. But hear this: fear is nothing more than an illusion that thrives when the heart forgets the nearness of God. When you anchor yourself in the truth that the Almighty is closer to you than your very breath, fear begins to melt away like shadows fleeing from the morning sun. God has not called you to walk in weakness, but in strength. He has not placed His hand upon your life so you would live trembling before trials, but so you would rise above them, declaring, God is with me, and that is enough. When you believe this truth, no weapon formed against you can prosper. No scheme, no slander, no betrayal can overthrow what God has already ordained. And understand this: your enemies may gather, but they cannot prevail if God does not permit it. They may plot in secret, but their whispers cannot touch you unless God allows it for your elevation. Sometimes He allows storms not to break you, but to reveal how unshakable you are when you trust Him. Sometimes He allows pain not to destroy you, but to strip away what was never meant to stay in your life. Do not fear when people walk away from you, for if they could leave, it is because God released them. Do not tremble when doors close, for a closed door is often God's way of directing you towards something greater. And do not panic when you feel surrounded, because the very walls that seem to cage you in are often the same walls God will use to protect you from unseen harm. When your strength feels small, remember that God's strength never diminishes. When your vision seems blurred, remember that God sees the end from the beginning. When your path looks uncertain, know that God already knows the way. Your task is not to figure out every detail, it is to trust Him with every detail. Lift your head, beloved, and let the world know that your hope is not in men, not in wealth, not in fleeting moments of comfort, but in the eternal God who governs all things. He has written your story with wisdom beyond comprehension, and even when you cannot trace His hand, you can trust His plan. So walk boldly, speak with faith, stand firm in the knowledge that God is your defender, your sustainer, your provider, your guide. Let nothing shake you, for you are held by the one who cannot be shaken. And when you walk in that confidence, fear will bow, doubt will crumble, and the light of God's power will shine through you for all to see. Beloved, as we draw this message to a close, let this truth take root deep in your heart. When people rise against you, when they whisper in secret corners, when they attempt to break your spirit with their gossip, it is not you they are truly fighting. It is the favor of God upon your life. Do not let yourself be disturbed. Do not give way. Do not surrender your peace. What is whispered behind your back has no power to erase what God has already spoken over your life. He does not rely on human approval to lift you up. He does not need their praise to establish your place. His decision stands. His word reigns above all, and His purpose cannot be overturned by the bitterness of people or the plans of those who envy you. While others are working in secret against you, God is openly preparing a place of blessing before your eyes. While they spend their strength speaking against you, God is pouring fresh strength into your soul. So keep walking with your head lifted, not with pride, but with the confidence that the Almighty stands as your defender. Leave their words behind and fix your eyes on the light God has set before you. For every lie spoken against you, He will answer with blessing. For every attempt to pull you down, He will be the one to lift you higher. The talk of people may last for a moment, but the Word of God carries power forever. Do not be intimidated by the noise of man. Hold tightly to the voice of God. And when you do, you will rise, you will endure, and you will stand as living evidence that no tongue, no scheme, and no enemy can overcome the one who lives under the covering of God's mighty hand. So move forward with courage, with steady peace, and with the assurance that God Himself is your shield. What He has started in your life, no one has the power to stop. Trust Him, and you will witness His glory revealed in ways that silence every voice that came against you. My friend, let me start with a truth powerful enough to shake everything beneath you. Not every person who smiles in your direction, not every hand that reaches out to you, not every voice that sounds loving is carrying real love. Some people enter your life wrapped in the appearance of affection, yet beneath that surface are deception, selfish motives, and destruction. And when you ask, why, God, did they walk away? Why did they betray me? Why did the one I believed cared for me disappear like mist? You need to understand that sometimes the very emptiness you grieve is proof that God is moving. God removes false love before He brings true love. What is counterfeit must be torn away before what is genuine can be established. God does not allow His children to remain tied forever to imitation love. Hear this carefully. False love may look bright, but it carries darkness within it. False love may feel comforting for a little while, but in the end it leaves you wounded and empty. False love is one of the enemy's traps sent to consume your time, weaken your spirit, and break your confidence. But God, in His mercy, will not let His chosen ones stay trapped in what is false. He will pull back the covering. He will expose the lie. He will remove the one who acts as though they care, yet never intended to honor you, respect you, or walk beside you in truth. That removal is not rejection, it is protection. That empty place in your life where someone once stood is not God punishing you. It is God preparing room for something far greater. God never takes away without intending to add something better. He never shuts one door without making ready another. He never removes what is false unless something real, lasting, and touched by His hand is being prepared for you. So many of you have wept into your pillow at night, asking why the one who once held your hand suddenly let go. You have wondered why the friend you trusted became the enemy you never saw coming. You have asked why the love you thought would remain ended in heartbreak. And in that pain, you believed God had left you. No, He had not abandoned you. He was rescuing you. He was clearing your path. He was cutting away the weeds so that the flowers could bloom. He was removing fake love before sending real love. Because if you remain tied to what is fake, you would never have the room, the strength, or the clarity to receive what is real. Fake love cannot stand in the presence of God's plan. Fake love cannot endure the fire of testing. Fake love cannot hold up when storms come. It collapses under pressure. It disappears when sacrifice is required. It runs when trials appear. And God in His wisdom knows that if you build your future upon that foundation, it will crumble. So He tears it down before you waste years of your life. God will let people reveal themselves. He will let betrayal come forth. He will let dishonesty be uncovered, not to break you, but to free you. Because you cannot be bound to lies and still walk in truth. You cannot be tied to fakes and still receive the genuine. You cannot keep what is counterfeit and still hold what is pure. Let me tell you this. Sometimes God answers your prayers with removal. You prayed for love, and someone left. You prayed for companionship, and a friendship ended. You prayed for loyalty, and betrayal showed up. And you asked God why. God said, I am answering you. I am showing you what is not for you, so I can bring you what is. Every tear you cried was not wasted. It was washing away the residue of the fate. Every sleepless night you endured was not meaningless. It was purging your heart, preparing it for what is true. Every painful ending was not the end of your story. It was the beginning of God's new chapter. Real love cannot be found while your hands are full of counterfeits. Real love cannot enter until fake love is gone. Real love cannot thrive in a heart poisoned by betrayal. That is why God removes first. That is why He takes away what you thought was love, but was only manipulation. That is why He removes what you thought was devotion, but was only convenience. That is why He strips away what you thought was loyalty, but was only self-interest. Because God's love for you is too great to let you settle for less. His plan for you is too powerful to let you remain tied to what is temporary. His destiny for you is too important to let you waste it on what was never meant for you. And when God sends real love, it does not break you, it builds you. It does not vanish in the night, it endures in the morning. It does not weaken your spirit, it strengthens your soul. Real love comes with peace, not chaos. Real love comes with respect, not manipulation. Real love comes with honor, not humiliation. Real love is patient, steadfast, and unshakable because it is rooted in God's timing and established by His hand. And when God sends it, you will not have to beg for it, chase it, or compromise for it. You will not have to wonder if it is true. You will know because it will carry the signature of God Himself. But first, God will test you with removal. He will test you with loss. He will test you with separation. He will test you by allowing the mask to fall off the one who pretended. He will test you by letting the words of love prove empty. He will test you with silence where once there was noise, not to destroy you, but to refine you, not to punish you, but to prepare you. Because God does not want you to simply receive love, He wants you to recognize real love. He does not want you to accept whatever comes your way. He wants you to discern what is true. He does not want you to mistake temporary attention for eternal commitment. He wants you to know the difference. And the only way to know is to see the counterfeit exposed. My friend, there is a reason why God allows the false to fall away before the true appears. God is not cruel when He lets someone walk out of your life. He is merciful. He is not silent when you wonder why things ended. He is speaking through circumstances. He is not punishing you by removing them. He is protecting you by guiding you. And you must see it with the eyes of faith, not the eyes of flesh. Because in the flesh, you will cry for what you lost. But in the Spirit, you will rejoice for what you escaped. What looked like heartbreak was actually a rescue mission by God. What looked like rejection was divine redirection. What looked like the end of your story was the clearing of the stage for the entrance of something greater. Fake love, my friend, is dangerous because it distracts you from God's purpose. It consumes your time, your thoughts, your strength, and it blinds you from recognizing what God truly has for you. That is why God does not tolerate it in the lives of those He has called for higher things. He will break it, even if you beg Him not to. He will strip it away, even if you cling to it with all your strength. He will let it fall apart, even if you built it with your own hands. Because He knows that if you keep it, it will corrupt you. If you hold on to it, it will drain you. If you cling to it, it will steal your destiny. God's love for you is so powerful that He will allow you to experience temporary pain so that you may avoid eternal damage. Do not be deceived by appearances. Fake love looks convincing on the outside. It says the right words. It smiles at the right moments. It pretends to care. But God sees beyond the surface. He searches the heart. He knows the motives hidden behind the smile. He knows the selfishness behind the compliments. He knows the betrayal lurking behind the promises. And when God reveals what you cannot see, when He exposes what was hidden, you may feel broken, but you are being saved because you cannot walk with lies and expect to arrive at truth. You cannot cling to darkness and expect to find light. You cannot accept fake love and still be ready for the real thing God wants to give you. And hear this truth: God does not just want you to experience love. He wants you to experience love that reflects His hand. Real love, the kind that God sends, will not pull you away from Him. It will push you closer to Him. Real love will not make you compromise who you are. It will confirm who God created you to be. Real love will not belittle you, manipulate you, or dishonor you. It will lift you, protect you, and strengthen you. Real love will stand in storms, endure trials, and grow stronger with time. Because it was established by God and not by human deception. That is why God removes fake love first. Because fake love has no roots in truth. It cannot survive the seasons of testing. It cannot endure the fire of purification. It collapses under the weight of trials. But when God builds something, it lasts. When God plants something, it grows. When God ordains something, it cannot be shaken. Some of you are still holding on to fake love because it felt good for a moment. But temporary pleasure is not worth permanent damage. God does not want you tied to what is temporary. He wants you anchored in what is eternal. That is why the removal hurts so deeply. It is God pulling your heart away from the illusion you thought was real. And the pain you feel is the tearing apart of what was never meant to be joined in the first place. You may call it heartbreak, but in the language of heaven, it is healing. You may call it loss, but in the wisdom of God, it is liberation. You may call it rejection, but in the vision of eternity, it is redirection. Do not despise the season of loneliness after God removes fake love. Loneliness is not emptiness. It is preparation. Loneliness is the place where God refines you, strengthens you, and teaches you how to stand without leaning on the wrong shoulders. Loneliness is where you learn to hear God's voice without the noise of manipulation. Loneliness is where you discover your own worth independent of false validation. And when you emerge from that place, you are no longer desperate for just any love. You are ready for the right love. You are no longer deceived by appearances. You discern by truth. You are no longer weak and searching. You are strong and waiting. And then, in the perfect time, God brings what is real. Not a counterfeit, not an imitation, not a temporary distraction, but the kind of love that carries His mark, His blessing, and His stability. Let me tell you, when God sends real love, you will not need to beg for consistency. You will not need to fight for attention. You will not need to question loyalty, because real love speaks with actions, not just empty words. Real love does not vanish when tested. It grows stronger. Real love does not drain you. It fills you. Real love does not weaken your faith. It strengthens your walk with God. That is, my friend, fake love makes promises it never intends to keep. It raises your expectations only to break them. It whispers loyalty while planning betrayal. And if you trust it too long, it will not just waste your time. It will wound your heart, shake your faith, and make you question your worth. But God, in His mercy, will not let His chosen one stay deceived forever. He will tear away the disguise. He will reveal the heart behind the smile. He will let the lies unravel until you see the truth for yourself. Do you see the hand of God in this? Because you may believe you uncovered the lie, but God exposed it so you could walk free. That is why you must not mourn when false love is removed. You must thank God that you were not left blinded. God could have let you stay deceived. He could have let you continue down the path of destruction. But if your hands are still holding the fragments of what was broken, you cannot receive the gift of what is whole. This is why God removes first. He tears away the false to prepare you for the genuine. He clears out the imitation to make space for the authentic. He empties your hands so He can fill them with something greater. You may say, but it hurts. Why does it hurt so much if it was never real? The answer is simple. Because you invested your heart, your time, your trust, your energy. Even if it was false, your heart was still involved. But listen, pain is not proof that it was real. Pain is proof that you cared. And God saw your care. God saw your tears. God saw your faithfulness. And He will not let that be wasted. Every tear you cried is counted. Every sleepless night you endured is remembered. Every cry of your heart is heard. And God will restore you, not with the same thing you lost, but with something far greater. Fake love often teaches you the value of real love. God allows the counterfeit so you can recognize the genuine. Without betrayal, you would not recognize loyalty. Without dishonor, you would not appreciate respect. Without manipulation, you would not know the power of sincerity. That is why, even in the pain, there is purpose. Even in the loss, there is gain. Even in the ending, there is a beginning. For God does not remove without reason. He does not cut away without purpose. He does not end without preparing for a new start. And hear me clearly, the love that God sends is never rushed, never forced, never deceptive. It comes in His timing, not yours. It comes in His way, not the world's way. It comes with His peace, not with confusion. It comes with His blessing, not with hidden destruction. And when it comes, you will not have to beg for it, fight for it, or question it. It will stand firm because it was built by God Himself. This is why you must not go back to what God has ended. Do not dig up what He has buried. Do not chase after what He has removed. Do not try to rebuild what He has torn down. Because when God removes fake love, He is saving you from destruction. If you go back, you are running into the very fire He rescued you from. If you chase after it, you are fighting against His protection. If you try to restore it, you are opposing His will. And no blessing can come from disobedience. Trust God enough to let go. Trust Him enough to surrender. Trust Him enough to say, if you removed it, I will release it. If you ended it, I will not try to revive it. If you close the door, I will not force it open. Do you know why some people never find real love? It is not because God has not prepared it for them. It is because they are still chained to the counterfeit. They are still looking backward instead of forward. They are still feeding the past while starving their future. And God in His mercy waits for them to let go before He releases the greater. You cannot carry the weight of both. You cannot embrace the false and the true at the same time. You must choose. And when you choose to trust God, when you release what He has removed, when you surrender to His wisdom, then the path is clear for real love to enter. And understand this, real love is not perfect, but it is purified. It is not without challenges, but it is grounded in God. It is not without storms, but it stands because God holds it together. And when you have it, you will look back and thank God for every removal, every ending, every heartbreak. Because without the fake, you would not have found the real. Without the loss, you would not have received the gain. Without the pain, you would not have discovered the joy. God's plan is always bigger than your pain. His wisdom is always greater than your confusion. His purpose is always stronger than your emotions. Trust Him. My friend, the reason so many people fall into despair when God removes fake love is because they confuse delay with denial. They think if God took this person away, maybe I will never be loved. Maybe I will always be alone. Maybe I will never find what I hope for. But that is a lie whispered by fear, not the truth spoken by faith. God never removes something just to leave you with nothing. He removes in order to make you ready. He never withholds because He has abandoned you. He withholds because He is refining you. God is never delayed, never careless, and never unaware of what your heart is carrying. He knows every desire within you. He knows every prayer you have whispered in private. He knows the deep longing that remains alive in your soul, and He will not forget you. He will not pass over you. But He will not place what is genuine into your hands while you are still holding tightly to what is false. False love is often a distraction from the enemy, sent to pull you away from the greater thing God has already prepared. It wraps itself around your heart, steals your strength, and keeps you bound to the wrong person in the wrong season. And while your heart is occupied by what is counterfeit, the true blessing cannot fully enter. That is why God severs it. He knows that if you remained tied to it, you would miss what was meant for you. He knows that if you kept walking beside the wrong person, you would never meet the right one. So He pulls it away, not as punishment, but as alignment. He breaks that connection, not to crush your spirit, but to preserve your future. And you must recognize it for what it really is, holy surgery. God is the great healer, and sometimes healing involves cutting away what is harmful. Sometimes restoration begins with removal. Sometimes freedom only comes through separation. You cannot keep the infection and still expect health. You cannot cling to poison and still hope to flourish. You cannot hold on to what corrupts and still receive what restores. So God cuts away, even when you cry out, even when you resist, even when you beg to keep holding on, because He sees what you do not yet see. He knows what you cannot know. He understands what you cannot comprehend. He knows that fake love will not only hurt you now, it will destroy you later. Some of you are in the middle of this removal right now. You feel abandoned, but you are actually being guarded. You feel rejected, but you are actually being redirected. You feel broken, but you are actually being rebuilt. And the very thing you think is ending your story is the hand of God writing a new chapter. He is not closing the book. He is preparing the climax. He is not silencing your song. He is tuning your voice for a greater melody. He is not cutting you off from love. He is clearing the path for real love to arrive. And let me tell you this with all the fire of conviction in my soul. When real love arrives, you will understand why the fake had to go. You will look back and thank God for every tear, every heartbreak, every disappointment, because it all prepared you to recognize the genuine. You will see that if the fake had remained, it would have kept you blind, kept you trapped, kept you from ever seeing the beauty of what God truly had for you. What you thought was loss was protection. What you thought was rejection was mercy. What you thought was punishment was preparation. Fake love often comes first because the enemy tries to plant weeds before the harvest of God can grow. But do not be deceived. A weed cannot become wheat. A counterfeit cannot become authentic. A distraction cannot become destiny. And so God allows the fake to reveal itself. And then He removes it because the field must be clear before the harvest can come. If you cling to the weeds, you will miss the wheat. If you hold on to the false, you will never receive the true. This is why trust in God is the foundation of everything. Without trust, you will keep chasing what He has removed. Without trust, you will keep clinging to what He has ended. Without trust, you will keep crying over what He has delivered you from. But when you trust God, you stop fighting against His hand. You stop questioning His timing. You stop doubting His plan. You say, God, I may not understand, but I will trust. I may not see the full picture, but I believe you are painting it. I may not feel the blessing yet, but I know you are preparing it. That trust is the soil in which real love grows. And let us not forget, real love does not come from the world. It comes from God. The world offers you imitations, distractions, and illusions. The world tells you that love is just feeling, appearance, or convenience. But God's definition of love is deeper. It is rooted in faithfulness, sacrifice, patience, respect, and truth. Real love does not vanish when times are hard. It holds tighter. Real love does not wound you with lies. It shields you with honesty. Real love does not compete with God. It aligns with His will. Real love is not just about being loved. It is about being guided closer to the purpose God has for you. My friend, never forget that God's wisdom is far beyond your understanding. When He removes fake love from your life, it may feel like devastation, but in reality, it is divine construction. You see only the demolition of what you once cherished, but God sees the foundation being cleared for what will endure. You see only the ashes of what is burned away, but God sees the soil being prepared for seeds that will produce a harvest of joy, stability, and peace. God is not careless with your heart. God does not play games with your destiny. If He allowed something to end, it is because He has already prepared something greater. And what He has prepared will not slip through your hands like sand. For what God builds, no one can destroy. And what God blesses, no one can curse. Fake love often comes with noise, drama, and confusion. It keeps you up at night questioning, doubting, wondering if you are enough, wondering if they are true. That is not love, that is bondage. Real love, the kind that God sends, comes with clarity, not chaos. It comes with peace, not torment. It comes with security, not fear. And that is why God, in His infinite mercy, does not allow you to remain in what confuses your soul. He pulls you out even if you resist, because He knows that confusion is not from Him. God is not the author of disorder. He is the author of peace. There are some of you listening to these words right now who are still mourning the one God removed. You think you lost your future when they left. You think your worth diminished when they betrayed you. You think your life is empty because they are no longer in it. But let me tell you the truth. Your worth does not decrease because someone failed to see it. Your destiny does not vanish because someone walked away from it. Your value is not defined by the love that left. It is defined by the love of God that remains. And as long as God is with you, you are never empty. As long as God is guiding you, your story is never over. As long as God is working, your future is still alive. Stop mourning what God has already delivered you from. Stop chasing what God has already removed. Stop watering what God has already uprooted. For if you try to hold on to what He ended, you will block what He is sending. If you keep running back to the counterfeit, you will miss the arrival of the authentic. If you keep tying yourself to the fake, you will never embrace the real. Release it. Trust God. Let Him have His way. For when you finally surrender, when you finally let go, when you finally open your hands, that is when God can place the real blessing into your life. And here this God's timing is perfect. Real love cannot come too early, or you will not be ready. It cannot come too late, or you will despair. It comes exactly when God has prepared you and aligned your path. Do not rush Him. Do not demand what you are not ready to carry. Do not cry for a blessing while still clinging to the burden of the past. Trust that God knows when your heart is healed enough to receive, when your spirit is strong enough to embrace, when your path is clear enough to welcome. His timing is not designed to frustrate you. It is designed to protect you. Sometimes the delay is not because God has not prepared the blessing, but because He is still preparing you. He is building your patience. He is strengthening your faith. He is teaching you discernment, so that when the real arrives, you will not confuse it with the counterfeit. He is refining your heart so that you will not sabotage what He gives you with the wounds of yesterday. He is healing you so that you will not bleed on the one He sends to love you. You may not see the process, but God is working in silence. While you are waiting, He is aligning. While you are praying, He is arranging. While you are crying, He is writing your testimony. Fake love often teaches us what not to accept. God allows it so you will never again fall for empty promises. So you will never again mistake flattery for sincerity. So you will never again settle for less than what He has ordained. When you finally meet what is real, you will recognize it because you will have tasted the bitterness of the faith. And you will cherish it, not take it for granted. That is why the pain had to come first. That is why the loss had to happen. That is why the separation had to take place. Because without it, you would not be able to see the beauty of what is real. And let me tell you, when God finally sends what is real, you will not have to chase it. You will not have to beg for it. You will not have to question it day and night. It will be steady. It will be sure. It will be firm, because God Himself will be the foundation. It will carry His peace. It will shine with His light. It will endure with His strength. And when storms come, it will not collapse, because what God builds cannot be shaken. My beloved, when the weight of life presses down on your chest, and when your mind is clouded by the whispers of doubt, remember this eternal truth: God is closer to you than your very breath. He has never abandoned you. He has never turned His face away from you. You may feel the sting of betrayal, the loneliness of being misunderstood, or the crushing pressure of burdens you cannot explain. But in that very moment, God is watching. God is listening. And God is preparing to lift you higher than you have ever been before. Do not think for a moment that the trials you face are meaningless. No, they are divinely measured, carefully allowed, and purposefully designed to sharpen your faith, to strengthen your endurance, and to cleanse your heart of reliance on anything other than God. What seems like a storm meant to destroy you is actually the wind that will carry you to new horizons. When people turn their backs, when friends vanish, when support collapses, it is God teaching you that He alone is your rock, He alone is your refuge, and He alone is your deliverer. Beloved, you must learn this sacred discipline to keep your eyes fixed on God when the world is trying to distract you. The whispers of gossip, the sting of insults, the cruelty of jealous hearts, these are but tests. Do not allow them to enter your soul. Rise above them. For when you remain silent before ignorance and keep your heart connected to God, you are not weak. You are powerful. You are showing the world that your trust is not in human opinion, but in the divine judgment of God, who sees what no one else sees and knows what no one else knows. And hear this truth with every beat of your heart: God's timing is never late. You may be wondering why you have waited so long for justice, why doors remain closed, why answers seem delayed. But God's delay is not denial. It is preparation. It is protection. It is the unseen hand of mercy, ensuring that when the door finally opens, no man will be able to shut it. When the blessing descends, no enemy will be able to block it. When the truth shines, every lie spoken against you will crumble into dust. My beloved, hear this truth. The presence of God in your life will always expose the schemes of the wicked. When evil people surround you, it is not a sign of your weakness, it is a sign of your strength. For the devil never wastes his weapons on empty vessels. He only attacks those carrying treasure within. The very pressure you feel from those who envy, slander, and betray you is evidence that God has placed something precious inside you. The attacks are proof that you are chosen, that your destiny carries weight, that your light is too bright for the darkness to ignore. But do not let the noise of the wicked trouble your heart. God does not need the approval of men to elevate you. He does not require their permission to bless you. Even if the whole world turns against you, the decree of God will still stand. Remember, when God commands a blessing upon your life, no enemy can cancel it. No whisper can erase it. No lie can undo it. Their words are like smoke in the wind, loud for a moment, but gone without a trace. Yet the Word of God is eternal, firm, and unshakable. When you are surrounded by evil, learn to be still and let God fight for you. Do not waste your energy trying to prove yourself to those who have already made up their minds against you. Do not lower yourself to wrestle in the mud with those who are determined to misunderstand you. Instead, lift your head high Anchor your heart in God and walk in dignity. For silence before the wicked is louder than 1,000 arguments. The calmness of your spirit under attack is itself a weapon forged by God. Do not be deceived into thinking that evil people have the upper hand. Their plots may be clever, but they are not greater than the wisdom of God. Their numbers may be many, but they cannot outnumber the armies of heaven. Their voices may be loud, but they cannot silence the command of the Almighty. Even in the dens of lions, God will shut the mouths of those who rise against His servant. Even in the furnace of fire, God will preserve those who trust in Him. And even in the valley of the shadow of death, He, His light, will guide and protect His chosen ones. Therefore, when evil surrounds you, remember this: God surrounds you more. The enemies may circle you, but God encircles them. They may plan in secret, but God sees in secret and exposes every hidden snare. They may rise in hatred, but God rises in justice. And when God arises, who can stand against Him? The world itself trembles, mountains melt, and nations bow when He stretches forth His hand. So take courage, walk boldly, live unshaken. Let them talk, let them conspire, let them gather. None of it can undo what God has written for you. When you remain steadfast, when you refuse to bend under their pressure, you are testifying to the greatness of God within you, and in due time He will lift you higher than the very people who sought your downfall. Their jealousy will turn to shame, their laughter to silence, their hatred to defeat. For no weapon formed against you shall prosper when God is your defender. My beloved, when you feel pressed on every side by the schemes of those who plot against you, do not despair. For God has already written the end of your story before your enemies ever began their plans. What they think is a trap will become the very platform upon which God lifts you higher. Every insult, every betrayal, every whisper spoken in the shadows will be turned into a testimony of God's unfailing protection over your life. The words of men are temporary, but the decree of God is eternal. Do not waste your strength fighting with those who cannot see the light in you, for their blindness is not your burden. Instead, anchor yourself in God's wisdom. When they mock you, be silent. When they provoke you, remain calm. When they attempt to pull you down, rise above by keeping your trust firm in God. For silence in the face of evil is not weakness, it is strength. It is the quiet roar of a soul that knows the Almighty is fighting unseen battles on its behalf. Remember, God has promised that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. This means weapons will be formed, arrows will be released, storms will come, but none will prevail when God is your shield. Your enemies may gather together, but if God does not permit, not a single plan of theirs can take root. Their tongues will tire, their efforts will crumble, and their schemes will collapse under the weight of God's justice. So walk boldly, walk fearlessly, and walk with dignity, for you are not alone. The presence of God surrounds you like a fortress. He has placed His hand over you, and no force in the heavens or the earth can overturn what God has decreed for you. Those who rise against you will stumble. Those who curse you will find their curses returned upon themselves. And those who dig a pit for you will fall into it by their own doing. Lift your head high, for your life is not in the hands of men, it is in the hands of God. He knows every tear you have shed, every pain you have endured, and every injustice you have faced. and in His perfect timing, He will vindicate you. When God raises you, no one can bring you down. When God favors you, no one can deny you. When God protects you, no one can harm you. My friend, hold this truth deep within your heart. Your defense does not come from your words, your strength, or your plans. It comes from God alone. And when God defends you, the entire universe will bear witness that His power is unmatched and His will cannot be overturned. My beloved, there is a sacred strength that rises within the soul when it learns to rest fully in God's control. The storms may rage. The whispers of enemies may echo around you. The world may try to weigh you down with burdens. But when your heart is anchored in God, nothing can uproot you. Do you not see? Every hardship is but a test. Every obstacle a divine lesson. Every delay a preparation. God does not abandon those who put their trust in Him. He lifts them higher, refines them deeper, and strengthens them for battles they did not even know were ahead. When evil surrounds you, it is not the sign of your weakness. It is the evidence of your strength. For why would the enemy gather against someone who is powerless? They gather because they see God's hand upon your life, and they tremble at what you are becoming. So stand firm. Do not let fear seize your heart, for fear is a thief of faith. God has not written your destiny for defeat. He has written it for triumph, for honor, for glory that comes only from Him. The night may seem long, but the dawn of God's deliverance is always closer than you think. Lift your eyes from what men plot in secret, and fix your gaze on what God declares in the open. People may slander your name, but God will honor your character. They may block your path, but God will part the sea before you. They may rejoice at your pain, but God will turn that very pain into the foundation of your greatness. Every tear you shed before Him is seen. Every prayer you whisper is heard. And every struggle you endure is shaping you into someone far stronger than you were yesterday. So walk boldly. Speak truth with conviction. Live with the unshakable assurance that the one who formed the heavens and the earth is guiding your steps. Let them watch. Let them whisper. Let them conspire. It does not matter. For when God is with you, no hand raised against you will prosper. The voices of falsehood will fade. The schemes of the wicked will crumble. But the power of God will stand forever. Hold on to Him, for He alone is your refuge, your shield, and your unbreakable fortress. Beloved, as this message comes to its end, hold tightly to this truth. No matter who stands against you, no matter how many voices speak falsely behind your back, no matter how dark the plans of evil may become, God is still your shield, your defender, and your safe place. You have not been left alone. You have not been overlooked, and you are not powerless. You are sustained by the hand of the Almighty, and no weapon formed against you will succeed. When gossip begins to spread, let your silence reveal your trust in God. When envy rises around you, let your peace show your confidence in His purpose. When lies are hurled at you like arrows, let your faith stand as the shield that stops them. The words of people cannot erase the destiny God has already written over your life. Their voices may swell like troubled waters, but the Word of God still commands the storm to be still. Their schemes may be deep, But the wisdom of God reaches deeper still. So keep walking in courage. Do not waste your strength trying to answer every false accusation, because God Himself defends His own. Do not allow the noise of human voices to pull your attention away from the voice of the one who called you. Lift your head, because you are guarded by the King of all creation. Let this be the conviction in your heart: I will not bow to fear. I will not be moved by gossip. I will not lose strength when envy surrounds me. I will remain firm in the truth that God is my protector, my vindicator, and my eternal guide. Go forward with unwavering faith. Live as one who knows that the eyes of God are upon you, the hands of God are with you, and the favor of God will not leave you. For in Him and through Him alone you cannot be broken.